Oh no. What are we doing? Alright, so we just left Arrows, which was actually the very first step in this project. For those of you who don't know, Randy is really into making ducks. Like, he carves them all up and they float, and I don't know, you do competitions and stuff and makes them out of fancy wood and whatever. So I figured, I'm like, how hard can it be? You know, Randy spent decades mastering the craft, and he wanted this video series from some fancy famous dude who sells videos on making ducks, and I'm sure he makes more money selling videos on ducks than I'll ever make in my lifetime. It seems like a scam, so I figured on a budget I'll make Randy it'll be free to him video about how to actually make ducks and how to carve them up correctly, and it'll be a step-by-step process. So from the research I've done, there's a lot of different types of wood that you can use to make these ducks out of, and I don't know, there's some fancy wood called like Tupelo or something, which is probably only made in like one country in the middle of nowhere, and it's hard to get. I mean, Randy has a bunch, but I don't have a bunch. So from a lot of the Reddit sources that I looked at, which I think is usually pretty top-notch advice, they all really said any kind of wood works fine. I mean, Tupelo really is, I guess, the best if you want it to like float, look good, and actually win competitions, but we probably won't be in a lot of competitions. So the second best type of wood I've heard is pine. So we're on our way to one of the best stores that sells a ton of woodworking equipment. And yeah, I'm gonna pick out the best piece of wood for this project. And I'll ask some people who work at this top-notch store their advice and see what they think would be really good for carving a duck out of that will win competitions. So the staff is very knowledgeable. I'm sure they'll send me in the right direction. So I'm sure we won't end up with just like a 4x4 that I'll cut up with a chainsaw and carve into a duck-like shape. We'll see. We're almost there. Yeah, you probably would have never guessed. A lot of people don't know it, but Lowe's actually carries way more quality wood than any online store, I think. It ain't gonna be straight, but it'll work for ducks. Now, pro parking obviously doesn't mean pro driving, that's for sure. Pro. There's a lot of wood here to pick from. Select stud. So it's pretty close to Tupelo. It's probably pretty similar. Oh, we found the scrap bin, boys. Oh, this quality duck making wood. That big enough for a duck? Maybe. I don't know how big ducks are. That'll be a part of the research. 50% off. What? We got the wood we need. This is gonna be a really good looking duck. Sure, this is pine, but like, how much different can this be from Tupelo? It's probably closer than people think. They've just never tried it. It's a good thing that ducks are not made in his image, because this is gonna be a pretty horrible looking duck from the looks of this wood, but we just won't use that part. We'll just use this good part, I think. So we gotta find some tools that the duck professionals say that you need. We'll take a look here. Do you need a router? I don't know. Probably not. Not a bad light. Probably don't need it though. So a bigger light. Probably not. Ooh, this looks like woodworking things. Table saw. You need a table saw for a duck? I could probably use a table saw for a duck. Oh, they don't have any duck making tools here. They have hammers. I'll probably use a hammer. Levels? I could imagine you'll need a level. You do not want a duck that's not level. That is for sure. $6. Dude, I'll guess for that. Ooh, chisels. You could probably use some chisels. Well, you'd probably do it by hand. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research yet. Small saw. Probably need a small saw. $27. I'll make a screwdriver work or something else for that. I'll find a chisel. Oh, screwdrivers. Yeah, about the same thing. Small knives. Tape measure. Self-lock. Garbage. Clamps. You need clamps. Grinder. You probably need a bench grinder. Different blades. Klein tools. Chop saw. Chop saw. Table saw. Bigger table saws. Oh, Delta. It ain't no saw stop, but I don't think Randy would approve. I probably got some tools at home that will work just fine. It's my wood. Can you see it now? Can you see it? Oh, look at that. That's gonna be a duck. Super soon. We're just gonna carve away everything that's not a duck. But this is from like the bargain free section, so I'm hoping I can just walk out the door with this. Do 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 do. What? Those look like duck making things. Dremels? I bet you Randy uses Dremels to make duck things. None of these things say they're for ducks. So I imagine you can just kind of use whatever. And those look expensive. $50? Yeah, I have a Dremel at home with a 1 or 2 attachments. Fits like a glove. Start up this turd. Let's see, for a Tupelo equivalent, well, they call it a 4x4, treated number 2, $587. I don't think it's a bad deal at all. You see that $587? It's getting steep, but no cost is too much for Randy and his weird duck videos. So at Hobby Lobby, how am I gonna get paint from you for my duck if you're closed? Let's see when you open here. Granville Hobby Lobby. Closed. When do you open? See, 9 a.m. It's what, 8:42? Yeah, like I'm gonna sit around for 18 minutes. Now when I can get paint at Walmart, probably, I don't know, does Walmart have paint? Walmart has paint. Walmart sell paint for ducks. Got a proper grammar for the Martini family. Yes, Walmart sells paint suitable for ducks. Amazing! Let's go! So we're all turning left here. Do you think these people are also gonna go buy paint for ducks? Well, let's go! Go, people, go! We have paint to get for a duck! Okay, Sorrento, would you like to get over? We can stop and we don't just pass the... Come on, baby. Here we go. The Martini's favorite store. They probably think it's only for people who live in Allegan, but they're wrong. It's actually for duck painters. People who paint ducks, go to Walmart. Just ask any of them. They'll all say it. Oh, give me. Ooh, crafts. Fabric markers, maybe? I don't know. Paints. This is it. 100%. Let's see. Acrylic. Oh, ducks are brown. Bold, I don't know, $3. God, this could be the most expensive part of the whole thing. Brown, just generic brown. Okay. Burnt umber. Burnt amber. Ooh, that's $5. We don't want that. We want the cheap stuff here. Well, not cheap. Affordable. They have the whole essentials pack. Maybe that's actually what I need. Look at all of these colors. I feel like that's what I need. Ducks probably come in all sorts of colors. There's 24 of them in here. This is a way better deal. For $10, I can buy 2 of these or 1 of those. Yeah, we're buying one of these. This is obviously the best one. What kind of brushes do I need? Ooh, a value pack. We like value. Acrylic, ideal for, does not say ducks. Vegan friendly hair. Oh, that's gotta be the weirdest thing. Yep, sounds good to me. Okay. Duck. Quack. And there's the Ford Victoria. Give it to me. We got all the supplies we need. Pretty high hopes. Yep. I want you so bad. Let's go, people. This lane is for crime. We have ducks to make. Look at you and your little electric snowblower. I'd rather have a shovel. Gotta move. Sir's pilot here. Cindy drove this last. Cindy, how do you sit in this thing like this? You sit like an inch from the steering wheel. Seriously. You are so short. Okay. Move the blue pilot by the other blue pilot. Hey, Diesel, let's go. Come on. Time to cut away everything that's not a duck. First step, grab the proper tool to cut your tupelo, whatever wood, down to correct size to be duck shaped. It's the proper tool. It cuts wood, essentially a scroll saw. Gas in it? It's got gas in it. God, you would just think it'd fire right up being a steel. Yeah. What a turd. Alright, everything was not a duck. That's just in case I mess up a lot. Duck, 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 duck. All right, got our setup here. We have the duck carving chair, executive. We got some screws, a hammer, our perfect duck wood. I think all the tools you'll need. After looking at all the tools online that duck carvers use, I realized I have none of them. The best tools to use are the tools that you have. So we're gonna use this little oscillating saw vibrating thingy. Skill saw. Jigsaw, essentially a scroll saw, same thing. A Dremel, I've seen Randy use a Dremel. I think you use it. This saw, roto zip thing, you make holes in drywall, we can make holes for ducks. A hammer, you never know. Another saw of sorts, some screws. I think we're gonna put the head on. I think we're gonna so here's kind of like the body, then we're gonna take this, and that's gonna be kind of like a head. Maybe a beak. I don't really know how ducks look. So we got some drills, Milwaukee, make Randy proud. We got a level, another level. Who don't want a level duck? Let's see how level we are. It's pretty close. It's gonna float great. The head be level. Oh, spot on. Randy, we're well on our way. We're gonna figure out what a duck looks like. Now, people think ducks are common, super normal. I don't actually know what a duck really looks like. I've never taken a duck and I've stared at the duck. So first step, do your research. We're gonna ask Google. Lots of research. Watch. All right, we've figured out how ducks look. So, duck. Could be too small of a duck. We would need to put two together. Like, are ducks wider than this? Is that as wide as a duck? That looks about as wide as a duck. That right there. There, now I know what a duck looks like, and I'll just look at the duck. And we're just gonna cut away everything that is not a duck. Step 2. Super simple. Here we go. Since they don't make wood big enough, we're gonna screw these two together, which I'm sure is not the correct way, but that's what we're gonna do. So, oh yeah. This is probably not making Randy proud. God, didn't even split. Pretty well perfect. Well, what's next? I guess we'll draw out a duck on here. I'd imagine that's the next step. A nice small Sharpie for fine detail. Let's see, what does a duck kind of look like? Kind of rounded on the front. We're taking this picture from this video that I watched. How to carve a duck. He did it in 4.5 minutes. I didn't even hit my screws. That looks like the body of a duck. Pretty similar. Bet you it's pretty close. We're gonna cut that out somehow. I think we're gonna do that with the chainsaw. I think that'll be the easiest way. I think that's the best tool for the job. I don't know what else you'd use. That even looks like a duck, look at that! Duck shaped and all. Duck shaped. He makes it look pretty easy. How to carve a duck. Back to our duck picture here. Technology's very hard. Duck. We'll use the big one. It's a duck shape. Head. Duck. Obviously. Oh, back to the only big saw we got. Yep. All right, here we go. I don't know what that means. I'll make sure they know.
Okay. I
I like the videos. I don't like baking ducks or anything with wood. It's looking like a duck. See? See, Randy? You didn't think I could do it? Well, you didn't say that, but I assume. It's a duck, okay? Next, I'm gonna use probably the next tool, this multi-tool thing, with a sander, and we're gonna sand away everything that's not a duck. But first we should mount the head. It's not really level, but our duck's head's really level. Who knows? We won't ever know. We're gonna sand this to flat. I think this was treated wood. So it's all like damp, kinda. I don't know. Oh yeah. Stick, 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 stick. Here we go. Oh, that takes forever. Okay. We're moving on to something faster. Like we ain't got time for all this. Here to make a video, not a lifestyle. Oh yeah. You know what I need is a frickin' belt sander. But I don't have one of those. And I ain't gonna go somewhere that does. That makes this look a little bit more duck shape. Okay. Oh, that's where the chainsaw was hit. The chainsaw was hitting the screw that went through there. My screw from up there to down there. Good to know. That's gonna have to come off. What does the tail end of a duck look like? It's looking pretty duck-like. I think so. If I do say so myself. I should probably make it look like feathers on the back. Feathers, obviously. Makes a lot of sawdust. This is probably a really time-consuming process. Seems to be. It's a duck, obviously. It's a lot of work. See, it's coming along. Looks like a duck. We got this little Dremel, and that's all we're doing on the entire thing because I don't have a bigger sander. So here we go. And our head, looking even better. That super looks like a duck. If you can't tell it's a duck, you're dumb. If you can't tell it's a duck, you're dumb. If you can't tell it's a duck, you're dumb. Yep. I think that's pretty well done. Paint will cover a multitude of sins. I think that's pretty ducking good. If duck makers don't say that's really ducking good, they've missed an opportunity. I think it's fine if its head sits like that. I think some ducks probably sit like this. Uh-oh, the duck's done. It's about as professional as you get. It's a pretty obvious duck. This is a duck head, also obvious. We're gonna mount this sucker to here. To do that, we're gonna use some duck fasteners made by Craig Jig. They're screws for ducks, I would imagine. There's a bit in here somewhere. There you are. You want it to be centered so it looks real. Throw one more in for good measure, really. There we go. Look how solid that is. Even hold them up by the beak. Then we're gonna paint. And then our duck's done. Quack, quack. Quack. We are here in the painting room. Obviously just used for painting ducks. Definitely not laser engraving. We gotta make this little guy look like this. So I'm just gonna keep this up here, and obviously I need, let's see, some grays, a brown, a green, a white, some white there, orange. Well, my guy don't have feet, so yellowish for the duck, for the bill, whatever you call it. You get to watch me paint. I think it's gonna go great. It's gonna be really cute, I think. Let's see what happens. Scientific name is Anus platythinchronos. Platyrhynchos. Anas platyrhynchos. I don't know. Duck. It's a duck. We're gonna make a duck. We're gonna open up this Walmart special here. Who knows how paintbrushes work? Seriously. Got all different ones. We'll probably just use like 2, let's be honest. We're gonna get really scientific here. Who needs all these colors? Take these and match them with that. I think that's the plan. Okay, so we need white. Yes, they give you one option for white. I guess that's the one. Look like that. That looks pretty close. Sweet. Okay. White. Some green. Does that look pretty close? That looks better. It's too green. This says dark green. Oh, they don't even say green on it. What color is that? At least this says dark green. Cadmium green? Dark green. We'll do the bill, beak, whatever. Oh, this one looks great. That one? It's almost orangey. A little orangey. Is that? Oh, that's it. Cadmium yellow. All right. Everything's just cadmium. That was cadmium gray. All right. Okay. Cadmium yellow. Yep. That's it. So it ain't that one. That's too yellow. Yellow ochre? Orchire? Yeah, that ain't it. Oh, we got it right. Oh, what other colors? Gray? Well, they don't have gray, so how do you make gray? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Some white and black. We need some black. There's black. Brown? We need some brown. Straight up brown. It's just called, burnt umber brown. Okay. Throw some of that in there. Raw umber. Very different. That looks pretty brown. We'll use that. See there's like some hidden blue and stuff in there. We got some blue. Oh yeah. Now we can pretty much take these and just throw those out. I'm learning so many things. It has length right here, 55 to 62 centimeters. I didn't make this to scale. Let's see how close we are. 62 centimeters. Really? I don't believe that for a second. Not this big. That's how big a duck is? Well, this is a small duck then. What's 55 centimeters in freedom units? 21 inches. What? These things are huge. That's like double my duck. All right, fine. Mine's a baby duck. That's what this is. You can't trust rulers. Nope. All right, we're gonna start with the head. The beak, even better. That's one color. That's what we're doing. See if my sausage fingers can, oh, perfect. What a wonderful color. There are gonna be a lot of happy accidents here, that is for sure. Wow, that's turning out beautiful. I don't know what other guys use for this. Where's the stats? It's like kind of stats here. But in my extensive research, I'm confident this will work out. We'll see how much time allows. We may just do one layer. We'll see how awesome it turns out. Like, I'm not a, like, professional, but, this is my first time trying to make anything with wood. Like any type of, like, sculpture-esque thing. It's a real banger. That's how beaks look. Beaks, bills. I don't know what you call them. What's the difference, really? Between beaks and bills? Who knows? Well, I'm sure somebody knows, but not in this room. Wow, that is obviously a beak. Gotta paint the underside here. I assume their whole beak is yellow. I didn't ask a duck, but I'd be pretty confident. This one spot not painting. Need more paint. This may have to be 2 layers. That's stupid. I don't know how professionals do it. See, I shouldn't have started with a large brush because now the large brush is going to be yellow. I should have done a different one for that because that's a small area. But here we are. Tap that off. Let's see the head. It's also one color. Dark green. Very scientific. My wife said that the painting often takes more time than like the cutting and designing or whatever. Gosh, try to figure it out. Sausage fingers and no nails. I don't think so. It won't take me longer. I tell you that. Gonna be pretty quick. All right, so his whole head has to be green. Wow, what a pretty color. Lots of happy accidents. Do 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 do. Very deliberate stroke style. This is the only correct way to paint ducks. So you mash the brush left and right and then smear it up and down, and it gives you a perfect coating of all the colors you'd want. In this case, green. Oh, we're gonna run through so much paint here. Wood just soaks it up. I don't know if Tupelo is easier to paint, but this pine's being kind of a bitch. All right, let's see, is the whole head? Yeah, the whole head is green. All right, let's put a little more down there on our exquisite color palette. Oh, okay, white's gonna go there. So we're gonna cut a line here. A little necktie will go. I don't know if that's what they call it, but that's what I'm calling it. A little rotate for those of you in the back. It takes years of practice. Years of practice to get such good lines as these, I assume. The green's gonna be one coat, that's where it's at. If only the yellow would act the same, that'd be cool. I know, perfect lines like that, that is hard to beat. I'll let you in on a little secret. I've never done this before, but I think I'm a natural. Pretty obvious. This one picture that I found, I don't really think is there other pictures? Ooh, those all look very different. We're gonna stick with this one picture. Consistency is key here. Fill in that screw hole with green. That's how I mounted the head. Other people probably glue them, or it's just made out of one actual piece of wood, but that really wasn't an option. Again, remember the stroke pattern. Left and right, mash up and down. Left and right, mash up and down. We need some more color. Lots of accidents. Now, believe it or not, I don't do this for a living. My day job's an auto mechanic. My hands aren't really steady, as you can see. But painting ducks just really calms me down. Everybody knows that about me. Pretty ducking awesome, if I may say so myself. A near perfect line. I'm not gonna show you up close because it's a good 30-footer and that's all we're going for. From like 50 feet away, you would think this is a duck. Sure, it's pretty mesmerizing to watch me do such a fantastic job. I'm not even charging anybody for this video. Completely free. We'll do the brown. We'll do the brown. Clean off these brushes. I think we can just go right to using this one for brown because it is the biggest and I have a lot of space to cover. So we're gonna give her a shot. We're gonna put this one over there. It's a good spot for that. We'll start with the burnt umber. Umber? Umber? Umber. I don't know. Gosh, they make these things impossible, I swear. It's like they don't want me to paint a duck. The Google AI assistant said that this paint is perfect for ducks. And how convenient, considering that's what I'm doing. There we go, yeah, it's a lot brown. Ooh, we gotta cover up the green so it don't dry up. Whew. Could have been bad. Okay, here we go. Okay, the whole thing's gonna be brown, I think, and then we will paint over top of that with some other stuff. Very scientific. Isn't painting fun? Gonna run out of brown. Underestimated how big ducks are. I'm sure people in the comments below will point out everything I'm doing wrong, but they're not the one with the duck video, so they can duck right off. Ah, quack. Duck jokes. Whoo! It's only been 15 minutes. See, this don't take long at all. And for such a quality job, I feel like it's going pretty quick. It's a good thing I made a baby duck because a full-size one would have taken up all of my paint. You watch, this is gonna make me actually want to do this for fun. Probably not. Some would say I didn't sand it well enough, but I left the texture to imitate feathers. So it kind of just looks like feathers from a distance. The constant narration, I'm hoping, is something you love. What a pretty little dude. Maybe this is how the girls look, I don't know. Maybe this is a girl duck. Who would know? Probably takes a degree in ducking. Ha! Quack. That is good. Hopefully it don't dry another color. It probably will, just to mess me up. Nearly perfect. That is a lot of yellow. Just gotta paint his little butt. These are feathers. Those little slots are. Obviously. Let's see how bad this is. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's different. We're adding this in to give some more texture and realism to the painting. Ducks probably aren't all one color. Whew, that is looking like a duck. Pretty obvious that that's what that is. All I gotta do is a little neck. Oh, what? Seriously, Walmart? Like, do you not want me to paint this duck? Walmart probably don't even care. I am making a mess. Oh no, that's mixing. Wasn't the plan. This don't need to be as fine of a line because in real life, it doesn't look like this at all. Nearly indistinguishable from a real duck. Ooh, that's a lot of black. Okay. It's like a racing stripe. Last finishing touch is his eyes. 1, 2. That one's not perfect. It won't match the rest of the duck. Perfect. We'll wait for it to dry and then we'll give a final reveal of this mallard, obviously. Sarah came down and mentioned a few things. There's some blue up here. They have some blue back here. And there is some white back here also. So I guess there's different types of mallards. Oh, that's too much blue. So we're gonna throw some finishing touches up here. Ooh, that's pretty blue. We'll mix that with some green. Okay, okay. The laughing in the background is not my wife. She would never be so unsupportive. Oh, she looks pretty. Well, she don't think it looks good at all, but she's not a duck painter, so.
Mav is supportive.
Mav is supportive. Look at that. Look at this perfect shading for the blue. See that? In the right light, you can see the blue, just like in some of these other duck pictures. I don't know where they got their pictures from because this is accurate. Okay, some more white. We're just gonna throw all this. It's pretty much dry. We're gonna just throw all this away anyway, for obvious reasons. What do you think, babe?
I think it's pretty cute. You were gonna do blue on the wings?
Oh, yeah, I gotta do blue on the wings, yeah.
But you really can't see the blue unless they're okay. Okay. That's not where it is.
That's where it is here.
It's a special kind of mallard.
This is a special kind of mallard. Absolutely astounding. It's obviously a duck. Obviously.